At this point in our course, I'd like to present you with a simple overview of U.S. regulatory agencies with medical mobile health oversight. Traditionally, one would think that the Food and Drug Administration alone is involved in the United States with oversight in mobile health to the extent that it has medical type of applications, but there are actually several more agencies that I'd like to make sure we mention. The focus of this course will continue to be on FDA type of oversight, but we will see in the continuation of this course how other agencies have had a role in shaping of the industry and will continue to. Let's start with the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, or FDA. The agency has a simple mandate, which is to assure the safety and effectiveness of medical devices, and to do so while facilitating medical device innovation and expediting patient access to high-quality medical devices. It also has the role to promote and adopt consensus standards, and has continued to exercise this mandate in mobile health as it has done before. Other agencies involved into shaping the state of industry in mobile health include the Office of the National Coordinator, or ONC. It is a staff division in the Office of the Secretary within the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. The ONC leads national health IT efforts, charged as the principal federal entity to coordinate nationwide efforts to implement and use the most advanced health information technology and the electronic exchange of health information. ONC authors regulations that set the standards and the certification criteria. This position was created about 13 years ago in 2004 through an executive order and legislatively mandated in the Health Information Technology for Economic and Clinical Health Act of 2009. It has a role in mobile health in that through the adoption of standards, it has created certain level of requirements that affect especially those mobile health technologies and applications that interface with EHR, electronic health records. And we expect it will continue to do so despite the fact that the current administration will undoubtedly create some changes at the administrative level that may also impact this entity. Let's talk about the agency with involvement in this area of mobile and digital health is the Federal Communications Commission, or FCC. The FCC's jurisdiction extends to non-federal users of spectrum in the 50 states, the District of Columbia, and U.S. possessions. The FCC essentially manages radio frequency communications to ensure that radio frequency devices operate efficiently and without interference. For example, it decides which frequency bands are to be used by different services. It establishes technical rules for the operation of RF devices, and it authorizes RF equipment as compliant with its role. And it finally also authorizes users, including individuals or network service providers, as appropriate. In the healthcare area, the FCC authorizes a wide variety of RF-based medical devices, including both implanted devices and patient monitoring devices. It also authorizes carriers whose networks are used by a wide variety of mobile devices, smartphones of course, to access, store, or transmit the health information. By establishing these technical rules very silently and in the background, the FCC has inevitably shaped also the mobile health and wireless health industry. And we expect it will continue to do so, especially as new bands become available for potentially new enabling technology to utilize. The Federal Trade Commission has been another very interesting player in the oversight of mobile health. The Federal Trade Commission works for consumers to prevent fraudulent, deceptive, and unfair business practices, and to give consumers the information they need to spot, stop, and report them. The FTC has long been at the forefront of consumer privacy and data security, including issues arising in the mobile and health areas. And we are continuing to see its involvement in ways that I don't think many of mobile health technology and investors had initially anticipated. In part, this should not be surprising, is that FDA and FTCs have traditionally worked together on a number of products before mobile health was actually a technology area recognized widely. And this is due to the fact that the mandate of the SEC and the mandate of the FDA are very similar. The FCC's role, in essence, can be summarized as promotion and advertising oversight. FDA does the same, only with a public health perspective. And we will see later on in this course examples of how they have collaborated to continue advance their mandate in the mobile health area. A question I've been asked sometimes is, does NIST regulate mobile health too? NIST is the National Institute of Standards and Technology, and it's one of the oldest non-regulatory federal agencies with the U.S. Department of Commerce, founded back in 1901. Its mission is to promote U.S. innovation and industrial competitiveness by advancing measurement science, standards, and technology in ways that enhance economic security and improve our quality of life. Involvement from the National Institute of Standards and Technology as a non-regulatory body is likely to come in the form of guidance standards for mobile and software technology. And this has already happened in the last few years, and I expect it will continue to do so, as we will see in the remaining of this course that there is an increased reliance on this type of standards for the regulation of mobile health technologies with a medical intended use. The responsibility is also by the Computer Security Division, one of the 6 divisions with the National Institute of Standards and Technology, for developing standards, guidelines, tests, and metrics for the protection of non-national security federal information and information systems. And as you will see, these are very important issues and topic of discussion in the mobile health and digital health area broadly. And with this, we have completed part 1 of module 1, an introduction on the mobile health industry landscape, macroeconomics and policy trends fueling innovation in this area, and an overview of the U.S. regulatory agencies with oversight of mobile health, in particular in regard to those that have medical intended use. We'll move on now to talk about specifically oversight of mobile medical health on the part of the Food and Drug Administration. We'll review some of the key historical position and current oversight approach. We will present the basics of the FDA's approach in this area as exemplified by the so-called triangle of enforcement. And we will review one key piece of guidance that was provided by the Food and Drug Administration in recent years, the Mobile Medical Apps Guidance, as well as example both from within this guidance and others in the real world.